Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a wee video on tips for recovering when you're recovering from an eating disorder, for facing your fear foods and eating disorder recovery. For individuals who are recovering from an restrictive eating disorder, one important component of their treatment is to face your fear foods and your trigger foods. For many people in recovery, when you're feeling less afraid or when your eating disorder voice is quieter, it's important you try and do this. However, it's kind of a paradox in that you'll only begin to feel less afraid by gradually exposing yourself to these foods, and it really helps. I've grown up waiting for fear to go away before I took any chances when I no longer felt afraid. For most of my life, with my eating disorder, I let it play on me. Fear of particular situations dissolved when I finally managed to do this. So hopefully these few tips will help you. Ultimately, fear is a normal part of this process, and it causes personal growth obviously as well. Now, I'm not certainly saying that it's going to be easy to eat your fear foods. Your eating disorder voice is telling you to avoid it at all costs, as you well know. However, if you wish for freedom, it is necessary to challenge yourself with these in small steps. The following tips that I've wrote down here, so please follow me as I read them out. Number one, what I want you to do is write a list of your fear foods, starting with the ones that are the least challenging to the most challenging. The goal of challenging your fear foods rules is to gradually step out of your comfort zone that your anxiety is provoking, but does not feel completely unsafe. Therefore, it can help to start making a list of the foods that are the least challenging up to the ones that are the most challenging. This way that you can ensure that your fear foods in a way that is most gradual, by starting from the bottom, working your way up that list. It is also important that you expose yourself to the same fear food multiple times before you move on to your next one, obviously. Recovery isn't a race, and it's okay and normal to feel that it's going to be hard, which is quite obviously, as you well know. Also as well, response to the particular food that you have been repeatedly exposing yourself to. If you want to make it onto the comprehensive, you need to include a scale where you rate each food from 1 to 10 in terms of how provoking it is to you. Additionally, prior to and following the exposure, for some it can be helpful to write what your eating disorder voice is telling you about each food, and then to write a statement from your healthy voice underneath it. Number two, what I want you to do is start by pairing the more challenging food with a less challenging food. Another technique used by some is that for each exposure, they pair the challenging food with a less scary food, so as not to obviously overwhelm yourself. This is another rule which you have to follow, and it's important to figure out which method works for you. But it's one strategy that some people might find helpful. If you're ready to do the two challenging foods at once, go for it. There is no right or no wrong way to do this. It's really all about finding what approach works obviously best for you. Engaging in a comprehensive behaviours following the exposure, as this will allow your anxiety to naturally come down on its own and serves to strengthen your eating disorder voice. Number three, which I want you to do, is find a support person who can assist you with facing these fear goals. When your eating disorder voice is very loud, it may be difficult to disobey it on your own. Finding support when facing your fear foods can be incredibly helpful in your eating disorder recovery. For instance, if you have a therapist, family member, friend or whatever who can support you in some of the challenging foods with you. If you do not have access to treatment team, ask a friend, partner, or as obviously say family member. It's important to let whomever you decide to be your support know that you need them in that moment For instance, you might tell your mum or family member you want to eat some fear foods with you and that you want to talk about things other than the food what you're doing. Just try to ensure that person whom you're exposing with issues food that obviously it's triggering. If you don't have a support person in your life you can do this with, another option is to receive support over the phone prior to or following an exposure exercise. One resource for finding support or someone who is strong in recovery from an eating disorder is obviously online and things like that as well, for beating or any support you can get online. Number 4, which I want you to follow, is to work to practice self-compassion. It's important to note that in facing your fear foods, you're doing something that is amazingly brave. True strength is not denying yourself food or avoiding certain food situations. Rather, it is facing these fear foods despite what your eating disorder voice is telling you, and being compassionate and gentle with yourself, especially for any perceived mistakes that you may make in the recovery process, which we all have, as you all know. Beating yourself up and not doing a food challenge perfectly will not help you in your eating disorder recovery and your journey, obviously. Additionally, it is normal to feel very scared and out of control. It is okay that you're feeling this way, and the fact that you're trying to challenge yourself shows that you've got a lot of courage. I've had to do it, everybody else is doing it. I'm in the recovery process and I've got a long way to go, but I'm challenging myself every day with these situations, so you can do the same. This is the time to be kind to yourself because you're battling an illness which, as you well know, has got the highest mortality rate. You certainly didn't choose to have this illness, so don't feel that way. It's something that's in your genetics and it's been triggered through something that's happened in your life. However, full recovery from an eating disorder is possible. It's never too late. We're all going to do this. We've got to be supporting one another, and it's all about reaching out and touching everybody and helping in any way we can. I'm doing it all through the vegan lifestyle, and I further recommend that you maybe try out vegan lifestyle as well, because it's an abundance of foods, and obviously as well, it's the motivating factor is you're helping the animals into your own health. So it's something we've all got to do. It's a way forward for our health, the planet, and we're going to save the world doing this. It's a massive movement. Please encourage you to do this. Follow it, and I hope these tips have been good today, guys. Please follow my 30-day journey that I'm doing. I'll be doing another what I eat in a day later on in the week, and another video probably on an update how I'm feeling and things. I can't thank you guys enough, and I absolutely love yous. Thanks guys, and speak soon, and follow me on Instagram at my Tommy's Recovery Journal. Thanks guys.